Hey, welcome back. This is Watertown365. It is December 16th. We have a slow news week, and we have a situation where the public relations person for this chili cook-off is really working overtime and is worth every penny. You'll see what I mean in a second. Hopefully, you'll appreciate the joke as much as me. So we have news about the volunteer Transportation Center, which will mark the return of its annual North Country Chili Cook-Off in a hybrid format. The National Weather Service has issued a massive number of winter storm watches for counties across New York State. I know what you're thinking. It's upstate New York. It's winter. What's new? But it's a situation where travel will be impossible in a few areas where the snow is just that bad. So let's jump in and talk about this annual North Country Chili Cook-Off. It will be held in the Dulles State Office Building on the first Saturday in February, so it's a ways away, and it is in a modified format due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Instead of it being in one single location, it is in a pub crawl format. It will be a month-long competition. Participating restaurants and businesses in Jefferson, Lewis, and St. Lawrence counties throughout February will be doing this. So it will be starting Wednesday, February 1st, and run through Wednesday, February 22nd. They will be done during regular hours of operation, and basically what you can do is go to these different locations and get these different, sample the chili, and then you can vote on which one that you like the best, or kind of rank your votes, and then at the end they will total it up, and they will report on who gets the big prize. And so why are we telling you this ahead of time? Well, so that way you can plan ahead, and that way when it comes closer to the date of when this starts, you can say, oh yeah, that chili competition for February that I heard about weeks ahead of time. And the proceeds for this will benefit the Volunteer Transportation Center, which provides essential rides to healthcare appointments, grocery shopping, and other destinations for residents with no transportation alternatives. Funds raised through the cook-off are earmarked to provide transportation to veterans and their family members, which make up roughly one-third of those transported by volunteer drivers through the VTC. And if you are a local individual or restaurant in the area, and you yourself want to take part in the chili cook-off, then you can find the application online at volunteertransportationcenter.org. So somewhere in here is a way to fill in some kind of an application for this. There we go, North Country Chili Cook-Off. So volunteertransportationcenter.org, top right corner, North Country Chili Cook-Off. And this is where you can find information about it, how Leah's Diner received the most votes last year, and then Mimi's Diner collected the most donations. And here's the whole list of all the restaurants. So this is a huge deal, right? American Legion, Church Street Diner, Dockside Pub, Big Spoon Kitchen, Plum Brook Cafe. These are all the participants. So there is some stiff competition here. And so somewhere in here, I don't know exactly, apologize, I can't easily find the application, but somewhere in here, there is a way for you yourself to register for this. So maybe it's under forms. We'll try that and then we'll give up. Maybe we'll revisit this. So volunteer, background check. Not exactly sure. Maybe as we get closer, you can send them an email. But anyway, I mentioned all that to say that the deadline for your own entry as someone who wants to participate in the Chili Cook-Off is Friday, January 13th, 2023. And sponsors are also sought for this event. So if you're interested in sponsoring this event in some way, you can contact Mr. Papanow. Does he have a first name in this article? I do not see one. So you can email the mysterious Mr. Papanow at foundation@volunteertransportation.org, so that way he can hook you up with the paperwork as far as if you want to be a participant or a sponsor of this chili cook-off. And then in obvious news, there is an impossible travel for parts of New York State. Christmas Eve is just 10 days away, but people across New York will be getting their last-minute shopping done after we close all the pop-ups, of course. And FedEx drivers will be busy. The weather has been colder this December and late November than years past. We have seen cooler temperatures this holiday season. 9 inches or more of snow is expected for those east of Lake Ontario and in areas upstate and in the northern sections of New York State. There's a winter storm warning, and there could be 7 through 18 plus inches of snow, with winds across the entire state gusting anywhere from 20 to 35 miles per hour. That, along with heavy snow, will make travel difficult to impossible. Friday and Saturday appears to be the worst of the snowfall, especially the lake effect snow that will fall off Lake Erie and Lake Ontario on Saturday. So, if you don't have to travel, it's best to stay home and try to stay safe while crews work hard to clean up the roadways. And next up, retired Fire Battalion Chief Patrick J. Wiley, who was the Watertown Fire Department's version of Clint Eastwood and Cool Hand Luke rolled up into one. He died on Wednesday. He was 70, and he had been serving the fire department for over 40 years. And so within the past 2 weeks, Mr. Wiley, who was a well-known contractor, he boated to Carlton Island to work on a metal roof for the day. He fought fires like Clint Eastwood's Man with No Name character in the actor's spaghetti westerns, and there was just all kinds of stories about Battalion Chief Wiley coming from. He rescued some people in those caves over by Black River, and he saved a couple from their burning house in 1999 around Christmas time at 121 Flower Avenue. He was the first firefighter on the scene, kicked in the back door, and found the couple lying on the floor. And he's, literally ran into burning houses. And I believe, so here's the cave story, right? 2 friends turned up missing after they went exploring the caves near the Black River that snaked their way underneath the city. And rescuers were looking in another cave and not finding them, but Chief Wiley headed to a different cave with a couple of different firefighters. And so the chief climbed through a hole and entered the cave and found the 2 lost men inside. They were stuck in those caves for 2 days with just a dead flashlight. They were cold, wet, and showing early signs of hypothermia. And then even shortly after 9/11, Chief Wiley and his friend and 2 other city firefighters headed down to the World Trade Center to work on the pile for a couple of emotional days. He was a devoted family man. His only son, Tucker, followed in his footsteps, and he, too, has worked his way up to the position of battalion chief. They also work together with their contracting business. And so yeah, the end of Battalion Chief Patrick Wiley. If you are familiar, sad news, but also good to be informed about these things. And speaking of being informed, let's talk about Bay Ring Jiu-Jitsu at bayringjujitsuny.com. And then on Facebook, they're at facebook.com/bayringjujitsuny. And if you don't know how to spell Bay Ring or Jiu-Jitsu, it's okay. We live in the day of autocorrect, and I literally logged in a moment ago, or before this, and I guess I need to really need to be logged in. And so here's kind of their typical schedule, right? Adult Jiu-Jitsu 12 to 1 and 7 to 8:30, and Youth Jiu-Jitsu 4:45 to 5:30 and 6 to 6:45. Here's some cool shots of the matches in action. And the thing about Bay Ring Jiu-Jitsu, if I can close down Windows, if I can find just the correct window to read from. Bay Ring Jiu-Jitsu strives to create a friendly and safe environment where people of all backgrounds can come together to train, learn, and grow. They attract students who are humble and kind and who show respect for the class, the art, and for each other. Bullies and show-offs soon find Beiring Jiu-Jitsu is not for them. This is because Beiring Jiu-Jitsu prefers to maintain an atmosphere rather than an egosphere. Beiring Jiu-Jitsu is more than just teammates and training partners. They are family on and off the mat. Come to see what Jiu-Jitsu has to offer you. They are off of Route 342 in Evans Mills, New York. Website is BeiringJiujitsuNY.com. Phone number is 302-897-0987. And finally, definitely last but not least, McAvoy Insurance has served Jefferson County for more than 50 years. They're a local, family-owned insurance broker for all of your home, auto, and business needs. As an independent insurance, McAvoy can shop the best coverage for the best price to meet your specific needs. They are at 1613 State Street, Watertown, New York, 315-782-3900, McAvoyInsurance.com. And speaking of websites, Watertown365.com is the place where we want you to go, where we have many other news stories, like there's even dinosaur news, fusion breakthrough news, one-arm basketball player news. These guys make edible cement from food waste. You can literally add it to your gingerbread house. There are wildlife photos, winter hilarity as the annual U.S. Name a Snowplow contest began. And so you must know that when you ask the internet to name something important, you get all kinds of weird names, and then you're stuck with the name, like Bodie McBoatface. And so what's happening now is that Minnesota, so this isn't upstate New York news, but it's like snowy, wintry news, is doing a snowplow naming competition with names such as Betty Whiteout, Plowy McPlowface, Control Salt Delete, Snowbee, Juan Kenobi, and the truck formerly known as Plow. So that is what you're missing out at Watertown365. And then you can click over to the Facebook page and see us talk about the Bad Apple Saloon Daily, Friday Night Karaoke, Blueberry Sriracha Fried Cauliflower with Ranch, Buffalo Shrimp Tacos, Meatball Parm Hoagie, and so on. And then as far as the comment section, if you want to be heard, then comment on the Facebook page and we will read your comments on the air. So it looks like Celine Tillman is leaving like a heart and a cross about the passing of Patrick Wiley. And we have some likes and things, but nothing too much to remark on in the comment section. So if you want to get heard, get some attention, get into an argument, etc., then leave a comment of some kind on some of our posts and we'll take a look on the live stream and read it on the air. But in the meantime, you have fun out there, stay safe with this winter weather, and we'll see you next time next week for more Watertown 365 news. Have a wonderful weekend, and bye for now.